you swing on them, and you got a fish. Saving all my used old stuff. It's a lot of bites. I make a lot of freaking casts. They'll see that as an opportunity for an easy meal, and they'll eat it. Alright, y'all, what is up? My name is Peter here with My Chaotic Fishing, and I don't care what the weatherman says. It's bright outside. It's hot outside. It is June 1st. And to me, that means it is freaking summer in Texas. I actually need to do something real quick. Hold up. Let me see if this will help. Okay, we're gonna do a little filter action on there. Takeaway. Is that any better? Let me know. Like I said, June 1st, I just got back from Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and the Bassmaster Kayak Series had a box. And if you subscribe to my channel, then you already know what it is, and you're either about to click off or you're gonna stick around. And if you don't subscribe to my channel, I will let you know right now. If you don't like fishing, you don't like new cool baits, you don't like exploring and camping and overlanding and all that different stuff, I apologize. You wasted 30 seconds of your poo-poo time. I bid you adieu. Bye-bye. For those of you who did stick around, that's the deal. That is a purple velvet 6 cents bag. So what I'm gonna be doing with these bags, by the way, this summer, I'm gonna have some time to melt down some of my plastics. I'm gonna grab them real quick. I've been saving all my used old stuff, and I melt that down, I make new plastics. I just realized I have like 2 other large Ziploc freezer bags full of plastic. So I take those, I cut them up, throw them in the microwave, put them in a mold, and I make new plastics out of them. Maybe that'd be a cool video. If you've never done anything like that before, you know, molds that you can pour. You don't need a pump or anything like that. They're like 60, 70 bucks online, and I don't know, it's cool, it's fun. I enjoy all aspects of fishing. Yeah. Looks kind of standard. This is the 6 cents 6-sack. And for those who aren't familiar, no, this is not sponsored. No, I don't have a deal. This is a like $30-something subscription deal. Once a month, they send you a whole bag of goodies. Sometimes it's stuff they already have out, but in a new custom color. Sometimes they send you stuff that won't be for sale to the general public. In any event, it's kind of cool. And it's a Texas company, and so if you don't like Texas, this might not be for you. But I enjoy getting new baits. I enjoy getting cool baits. And it seems to be somewhat seasonal. So we're gonna bust right through this. Yeah, I mean, you get a discount too. So for that, it's a good deal. I'm gonna do the hard baits first because I see a bunch of plastic bags. All right, hard baits. Heck yeah. All right, so this is a Movement 80X. That's in the black magic color right there. This is not, it's not a wake bait. It's a subsurface, but if you slow roll it, it just has a big old wobble. Again, the Movement 80X. If your fish are hitting top water or you're getting follows and not commits, then throw something that goes a little bit subsurface. Check out the Movement 80X. I like it. I throw it, and the black magic color is super dope. It comes with a, it's like, let's see if you can see that. Let me get rid of the glare. See how it's like a flat? It's not a shiny plastic bill. Got those bright green iridescent eyes that glow. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if that matters to the fish. I don't know. You can ask the fish and let me know what they say. I like it though. 106X. This is dope. I like a lot of these colors. By the way, 6 cents does have some dope colors. I'm gonna pop this one out for you. This is Morning Dawn. It's recognized as kind of a pinkish color, and like, why do fish like that? I don't know, but you can see it right there. This is the 106, and you probably won't be able to see, but it does have a weight transfer system. Honestly, if you know the Megabass version of this, that's kind of like the de facto jerkbait, and this is not a knockoff, right? This is their own. But if you don't want to spend like $30 a piece on Megabass jerkbaits, and you don't want to have to upgrade your hooks, then I would say hit up the 106 or the 97. I like the 97, it's smaller. But you can see that right there. Got a nice pink back, nice solid bill. The bills don't break on these as easily as the Megabass ones, by the way. But yeah, this will be getting thrown if the conditions present themselves. Then we got, there you go, 3/8 ounce axle swinging swim jig. It's in some sort of bluegill color, candy bluegill. The swinging swim jig. So again, if you followed me on socials for a little while, or you've subscribe to the channel and watch my stuff, you'll know that I like the swing shaker, which is like my favorite shaky head. Basically what it is you got your line tie up front, and then when a fish gets hooked, you're pulling, but it doesn't get any leverage over the bait because the hook swings. It's a big old piece of metal. You ain't busting this off, okay? Yeah, so you got a nice, I think it's like a 5/0 hook, and then up in here, up in that mess, there is a little screw lock for your baits, if you can see it, but that's how it works. So it holds on extremely well. Make sure you get your spacing just right so it's not like pulling the tension up or down, but then when you do get a bite, right, that fish can swing on the hook as you're reeling it in, and I believe that it lowers the chances of it throwing the hook, and I've seen the results. Nice candy bluegill. You got green with some orange and black sparkles. You got some of that purple underneath. It's a swim jig. It's a swim jig. Swim jigs get bit, and if you haven't tried it, then yeah, absolutely, I do recommend it. That's in a 3/8 ounce, so it'll get thrown. I love fishing a jig. Just burning bank, bushes, buck rush. All right, so I said I was going through and getting the hard plastics out first. Now we'll get to the soft stuff. Boom, there you go. So I'll rig this up for you real quick. This is what it looks like. This is a 6-ounce bongo. It's they say it's a 3.7 inch for whatever that's worth. This is in green pumpkin. Why is that just the most universally accepted color for bass fishing? Like, if you don't know, just get green pumpkin. Like, if you're going fishing and you don't know what color to pick, just get green pumpkin. I don't know why that is the deal. It has something to do with visuals and natural colors, and you're tricking a live animal to eat an artificial lure, right? It's a lure. It tricks them into eating. Anywho, why is it? I don't know. But if you're curious and you're just like, oh my gosh, I've got that problem where you have too many options, just green pumpkin, it'll work. It works everywhere. It works all the time. It works all year. It works on all the bass species, largemouth, spot, all the different stuff. Are there times of the year where it can be superior to fish a different color? Sure, but like, come on, just green pumpkin, it works. So I like screw locks. Some people say I'm lazy for it. I just feel like they do a fine job at securing my bait to my hook. So for this one, we're actually I'm not gonna rig it straight. I'm actually gonna turn it like a little bit sideways. And so what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna clean up that skirt material. And all you do to do that is like pull it out. It's all stuck together from production, all that different jazz. These are all hand-tied skirts, by the way, solid jigs. But now that I've got that, I'm gonna kind of place the head and make sure that it's where I want it to be. I've got the angle of the plastic correct on the screw lock. What I'm gonna do on this, because it's a swim jig, you can see hook wants to go right there at the end when it's at that angle. And so rather than just put it flat, like I think a lot of people would rig a jig, I'm gonna take it from flat, I'm gonna turn it 90 degrees. And you got the head angle correct, right? So where it naturally sits, like that. And I'm just going to stick this through in that place. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, then you don't know this about me, but I'm kind of OCD when it comes to having plastics rigged straight. All right, so poke it through, and then I'm gonna take and bury it into the plastic just a little bit underneath it, and then there we go. And then that way, as I'm pulling the jig, those little tails are flapping. Are there times where I trim a skirt? There are plenty of times where I trim a skirt. This one's not one of them. I'm gonna throw this through thick stuff. I'm gonna want it to have some presence. I'm gonna want it to move water. And basically the reason that instead of rigging it flat, I rigged it vertical is because the color of the skirt, right? And so it says bluegill, and apparently that right there looks like a bluegill. As picky as they can be, apparently represents a bluegill. And that's how you rig that. So that'll give you that nice flippity flappity action right there. That's patented and trademarked flippity flappity. That's all me. And that was on, again, just another thing that was included in the 6-sack. That is the Green Pumpkin Bongo. They come in a 6-pack clamshell. Great trailer. Works on everything, right? It's got flippity flappities. That's the deal. We'll grab another one. We'll grab a smaller one this time. All right, what do we got? Oh man, I wish I would have had these this weekend. This is the Shindig 3.2. If you fish a Ned, this is the deal. It again also has little flippity flappities. It's got some little ridges on the back of the tail so that as it falls, it flaps down. This is grasshopper. I don't know what grasshopper color is. I don't, you know, but it's got kind of the white bottom, kind of the watermelon top. It says it's a 3.2. It's a good smaller bait that has, you know, some sort of presence. You could throw this into docks and drag it along drop-offs, you know, as it falls real slow because you have it on a lightweight tackle. They will, they'll see that as an opportunity for an easy meal and they'll eat it. That's the Shindig 3.2. Then we got, what do we got here? All right, exclusive color. 6th Sense has been doing a lot of custom pours recently. So, in my opinion, this isn't really a custom color. It's a, hey, we made a bunch of these, and, you know, we don't really have a name for them. But, I mean, this is a legit shad color. So, while you may not be able to see, basically the bottom is clear with fleck, and then the top is nice and gold. So, to me, I mean, this is probably a better shad imitator than their 4K shad, which is white on the bottom and then this gold on the top. I like that. I like that clear. But, you know, that wouldn't work in dirty water. This would be, you know, clear to semi-clear, like not really a stained water deal, but this for minnow pinging, okay? It's got that big, again, a flippity floppity on the back. You can throw this as a chatterbait trailer. There are a bunch of different ways you can rig it. It kind of, I believe it was ideally developed as a pinging minnow for hover strolling, wobbling, doing all that different stuff. That is the Aussie 4.0. So it's a 4-inch. It does have a nice big body. So if you do want to rig it as a chatterbait trailer or as a spinnerbait trailer or any of that stuff, like it's got some meat. It's got some meat right there. And that tail design, they use it on a ton of their baits. It's a tail with a little ball, basically the weight, and so it swings around a lot without a lot of your input. You can see it there. I'll hold it still. Then it just moves. So in the water, it would move a lot too. That's the Aussie. I mean, it's a dope little bait. It's a cool little bait. And almost last. I'll take out both of them. Last, but not least, these two baits. Again, all of this for like 30 bucks. Which is way cheaper than you're gonna get it at Walmart or Lake Pro Tackle or anywhere that you want to shop. By the way, lakeprotackle.com, that is the tackle shop that you need to holler at. This is a 3/0 jugular. Basically, it says it's a hybrid hook. It's an offset shank, so I mean, in the 3/0 size, what would I use this for? This is a jugular in a 3/0 size. I would use this for a 7-inch worm. In this case, what I'm holding in my hand right now. It's offset, so as soon as they bite it, they've got hook point in their face, and that works. It's a solid hook. It's a stout hook. Again, if you've been following my stuff for a minute, you know that I'm religious about my spear point hooks. They've sent me stuff. I don't have any sort of official deal or anything like that with them, but I'm 1000% a believer. It's got some weird bends in it. Basically, when you get it past the first bend, if you set the hook correctly, it locks it into that little V bend that it has, and then if it goes even more, it basically double pins them, so you're not shaking off a lot of fish. So this is the jugular, and this is the Mamba Magic. That's a Ben Milliken reference, because I know he's like about his Mamba stuff. So this is the Busa Shaky Worm. This is absolutely put it on a shaky head, throw it, and let it sit. However, with the gear that they sent me, if I was doing some sort of crazy fishing challenge, I would just Texas rig this or maybe Carolina rig this, I'd make my own Carolina rig, right? You don't need the pre-rigged one, you can make your own. Anywho, I'm gonna show you how this works. But yeah, this Busa ribbon, it's not, no, sorry, they do have a Busa ribbon tail. This is the Busa shaky worm. It's a 6.5 inch shaky worm. It really is like, you could throw it out, it's not salted. So I mean, you throw it out there and just let it marinate, and any water movement is gonna cause this to move around, so you don't have to impart any action on it. Look how soft it is. I'll just move my finger. I mean, you see that it's a super soft plastic. Not the most resilient, so like a couple fish and you're having to replace it. But I'm gonna take a soft bait that has action which entices bites over a soft bait that is durable and then doesn't produce the action to get the bites, because that's, I want the fish to bite. If my plastic gets a bite every 3 casts and I gotta replace it every time I get a bite, it's a lot of bites. I make a lot of freaking casts. So I'm gonna take this little guy right here and show you why I dig it. If you look at this bait from the side profile and from the front profile, you'll see how like the ribs go down on that side, the ribs go up on that side. So the way that I'm gonna rig it is with the ribs up. I know this is super basic, but I've recently met a bunch of people who wouldn't know about this stuff, and so because people have taken their time with me, I'm gonna take the time to do this. Alright, so again, I'm going to rig this in line where the ribs go up, not down, because I want that profile to be presented that way on the hook. So you take and line your up ribs with the hook, right? So like that. You stick the hook straight down, right, in line, and as soon as it starts to bend, you're gonna take and pop that hook point out. Okay? So see, it pops out and it's in line with the bend. If you have questions about this stuff, let me know. I'll be happy to help. And push it all the way up. And then we're going to pretend that our line is tied right here. You do that first. You're going to take that, turn your worm around, and push it up over your knot, basically. And then we've got this situation right here. All you're going to do is, if you can, let your worm dangle down by the hook so you can see where the hook needs to go through the worm, and then pinch it, and basically I can see the ribbing, whatever you want to call it, that it needs to go through. And in that same orientation that I started it, I'm going to take and poke the hook through there. You can kind of see it poke out, but what I'm going to do is, as soon as it pokes through, I'm going to pinch and turn my plastic, and I want that hook to just go right through those ribs. What that allows me to do, and the reason that I do that, is so that, one, I want the worm to hang as straight as it can on the hook. I don't want it to look like it has a hook in it, even though you can see it right there. Bass seem to, hooks are invisible to bass, I guess, I don't know. But you want it to go through so that it's in line with the worm, right? Worm is straight, hangs on the hook. It's like the hook's not there, I guess. And then you'd have your weight and your line up here, and you'll pull it along, do. Fish comes along and says, oh man, that looks like a tasty meal. What happens is, with this hook, and again, Spear Point makes a version of this hook, which is my preferred. It's freaking amazing. But what happens is, a fish goes to bite this, okay? And I'm gonna do it from this profile, but like when the fish goes to bite this, like that, their mouth goes down on that, and you'll be able to see, you can see that the hook is right there. You swing on them, and you got a fish. So that's what I would do. This is the Mama Magic. It's basically like a smoke gray with a bunch of different color sparkles. And that is your six-sack. It is June 1st. My name is Peter Husser. This is My Chaotic Fishing. I've got some super cool videos coming up from all over the country. Fishing out of the kayak, fishing out of the boat, fishing from the bank, talking about tackle, talking about technology, talking about camping, overlanding, my truck, all the different things, right? Anything I can share with you that either is like escapism, which is allowing you to kind of get out of your 9-to-5 grind, stuff like that, or can teach and enhance and, you know, maybe show you some stuff you haven't seen, whatever the case. I do that. You know, that's my attitude of gratitude. People have given their time to me, I'm trying to give it back to you, which means that the people who have given me their time, it's like magnified, right? Because one person gave their time to one person, and now hopefully I can give it to thousands of you. By the way, congratulations, y'all. This little do nothing channel has over 4,000 subscribers, and that is, it's mind-blowing, but it's super cool, and I'm excited to have y'all along for the journey. I'm going on some adventures. I hope you're coming with me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying rad. Let me know what you think of this tackle, if you fished any of it, or if you have some alternate rigging options that a goob like me needs to know about so we can go catch some more fish. Until next time, peace.